All right, what's up? This is Michael Rapaport. You are now listening to a big body, brand new I Am Rapaport stereo podcast. On today's podcast, Nipsey was put to rest in a ceremony that was fit for a king. We're talking about that. Dwayne Wade has a send-off in the NBA that was fit for an NBA champion. But what about Carmelo Anthony? How is his career going to end? The NBA playoffs are here. They're upon us. We're talking about that. Plus, my man, Benny the Butcher, Benny the motherfucking Butcher from Buffalo, New York. Griselda Records is in the house. Benny the Butcher is here with me on the I Am Rapaport stereo podcast. All that plus some really sick fucks of the week. Miles, Jordan, give me something real nice. Yes, something real proper. Okay. But most importantly, something real funky. Let's go. All right, this is the I Am Rapaport stereo podcast. My name is Michael Rapaport, a.k.a. the White Chocolatito, a.k.a. the Jake LaMotta of Podcasting, a.k.a. the Gringo Mandingo, a.k.a. Mr. New York, a.k.a. Mr. 212, a.k.a. Mr. A.K.A. Yes, that is my newest moniker, Mr. A.K.A. Shout out to my guy, OG Paul Wall. Houston is in Sukasa for coming up with that and blessing me with that. Appreciate that. It's the I Am Rapaport stereo podcast. Here we are, Friday. This podcast is being released Friday, April 12th, 2019. Man, and once again, when you get to a Friday, you're just like, whew. And we're almost halfway through April, which is insane to me. We are almost halfway through April. It's crazy that we are this far. A lot of things to talk about. As I told you in the intro, later on in the show, Benny the Butcher, Buffalo's finest from Griselda Records, who is signed by Eminem himself to Shady Records. Benny the Butcher. I talked about these guys that played their music. Up and coming dude. If you've never heard of him, check his music out. Check out his latest record, Tana Talk 3. I love these guys. I love the whole Griselda movement. I love the whole movement out of Buffalo. I ask him, that's right, Buffalo, what the fuck? I didn't even know hip-hop had a presence up in Buffalo, so he breaks that down. He breaks down how they got with Shady Records. He breaks down advice he got from Jay-Z himself, Hove. Of course, we speak on Nipsey Hussle and what he meant to him. And these guys have a similar grind. They have grinded it out from the bottom. And I talked to him about that. Like, how do you get discovered from Buffalo? How do you get Wu-Tang certified by Raekwon? How do you get Mobb Deep certified from Buffalo? What does it take? And he breaks that down and everything they've been through and where they're at on their stairway to success. And like I said, I fuck with this whole movement. We have Benny the Butcher, Conway the Machine, Westside Gun, and that whole crew. But today is just Benny the Butcher, and he's rocking me, and it's a very good interview, very smart interview, very insightful, a lot of jewels, a lot of gems, and I can't wait for you guys to hear it. I just mentioned Nipsey Hussle. Man, a memorial, a send-off fit for a king. That was something else. The whole Staples Center memorial and all the people that spoke and Stevie Wonder performing and his family and his mother and his father and his sister and his brother speaking so eloquently and so passionately and so humbly. And sharing stories about this guy who has obviously, gotten bigger in his passing since he's passed. And that's fine, listen, I wish this guy was still here. Of course, the people that knew him the best and his family wishes he was still here, but this was the way his journey was supposed to go. And what an impact, what a send-off fit for a king. And I'm sure everybody's seen the footage and just the procession that traveled all around Los Angeles, 25-point 2 miles and the traffic and the chaos and the excitement. And for the most part, it was all positive. And it just shit, you can't even plan for. I've never seen anything like it. Because he was street music. So when they bring him out for his final drive through his city, people are going to come out in the streets, and they came out in droves, and it didn't stop. And it was really, it was really impressive and really beautiful. And it really says a lot about the impact that Nipsey Hussle left and the impact of hip hop. And, it's bigger than just Nipsey Hussle. Like, this represents all the fallen people from hip hop over the years. Obviously, I remember when Biggie, they drove his body through Brooklyn. It was impromptu. There wasn't social media. There wasn't a plan. People just came out. And it was nothing like this. This is thousands upon thousands upon thousands. And, Brooklyn isn't 25 miles, big. So this was just incredible. And watching Snoop talk, so just from the heart, and so many people, just a beloved guy. And, we talked about it on the podcast. And, it's crazy because as much as people love his music, the person really made the impact. And the person is the thing that people are going to miss. And the influence and the excitement and the ideas and what he actually accomplished is what people are going to miss. And I've been really trying to figure out, and think for myself, like, why is it so sad to me? And, why is it so sad to everybody? And I think one of the reasons, and there's many, 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 many different reasons. And, I'm sure it brings up, anytime someone passes, it brings up different feelings in everybody. It's such a personal thing. But one of the things that I was thinking about is that when you see somebody who's so beloved and so respected, and so is doing so many good things, and for him to get shot and killed and murdered like that, I think for me it's like, God damn, if that could happen to him, that could happen to anybody. This is a beloved guy. It just makes you think, shit, like, we are all vulnerable, and life is short and life is precious. And I know for me, I'm just like, damn, man, if that could happen to him, that could literally happen to anybody. Obviously, that's extreme circumstances with extreme measures and just an extreme tragedy. But I don't know, the legacy and the impact of Nipsey Hussle will go on and live on forever. And what we all saw in Los Angeles, whether you were here in Los Angeles, whether you were actually at the memorial, actually at the 25-mile procession, or you watched it on TV or social media, it really was kind of breathtaking. And it's just a sad, sad end to a very special, unique, one-of-a-kind guy who was really putting his money where his mouth is. It's funny because I discovered there's been a few mixes out there that are dropped. Two of them which are really dope. I heard them both on SoundCloud. A guy named DJ Filthy Rich. He put out a dope mix. Very emotional, very dope, heartfelt mix. And you could get it on SoundCloud. And you could follow him on Instagram, DJ Filthy Rich. He's spelled just how it says. And you look it up. I've posted it. It's on my stories and all that stuff. And then my guy, Scram Jones from New York, he put out a dope mix. And I knew it sounded familiar on the song Victory Lap. Nipsey Hussle samples Willie Hutch. And one of he breaks down a lot of the samples, DJ Scram Jones, and that mix is also on SoundCloud, and you can follow him, DJ Scram Jones. It's on his link. His Nipsey Hussle Scramble Mix, that's what he calls all his mixes, because he really does scramble the shit up. He breaks down the samples for a lot of the songs, and one of the songs, Victory Lap, he used very beautifully. And it's been sampled a lot. Willie Hutch has been sampled a lot, but I didn't put the voice. You'll see how he manipulates it and changes it. It's the song Good Old Love by Willie Hutch. Anyway, it's the I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast. We're going to get down to the get down right now. Let's go.
Oh, baby, it's been so long.
logo on my flow mat. Courtside Chamberlain throwback match my Rolex. Everywhere I go flex, valet park on some low shit. Whole lot of smoke in that Rory, that thing poke. Burning rubber, wearing cameras, they was undercovers. Under pressure, made statements turned on their brothers. Never judge you, but the streets will never love you. I wonder what it come to in your brain for you to run to. One's the haters, handcuff us and maces. Call us dumb niggas cause our culture is contagious. Third generation South Central gangbangers that live long enough to see it change. Think it's time we make arrangements. Finally wiggle out that maze. Find me out in different places. And the spoke by the door, this the infiltration. Double back dressed in blue laces.
All right, so it's been a crazy week as documented in the emergency podcast that we put out 2 days ago. We had to put out an emergency podcast for the craziest day in NBA history collectively, with all the things that happened. Dirk Nowitzki's last game in Dallas, D. Wade's last game in Miami, the Magic Johnson shit, and so on and so forth. It's all been documented, and everybody could get that emergency podcast. When we make the move to Luminary, everybody can get everything, and rest assured, I've really been thinking about that. Although we are going to be behind the paywall, me personally, I am taking this as a test for me and as for the I Am Rapaport Stereo podcast crew. We're going to continue to go harder and harder and make the podcast better and better and more rigorous and more vigorous and more emergency podcasting and more shit talking and more disruptive behavior when we make that move to Luminary. And we're not going to be alone. There's going to be 40 plus other podcasts exclusively on Luminary. Plus the app itself is dope. You can listen to every podcast in the world on the Luminary app. I'm going to continue talking about it, but I just want you guys to know, the fans, the listeners of the I Am Rapaport Stereo podcast, cannot stop, will not fucking stop. Cannot stop, will not fucking stop. Hard body karate. Blood on the floor podcasting. Blood and guts only. All blood and guts podcasting. Giving you every single ounce of disruptive behavior we can come up with every single time. These golden mics, you hear that? I'm tapping the golden mics. Every time these golden mics are picked up, full body karate disruptive behavior. Never, ever, ever will we give you anything less than that. So since that emergency podcast, D-Wade done. Played his last game in Brooklyn. He's finished. He's retired from the NBA. I don't think he's coming back, although he ended his season scoring 30 points in Miami and then a triple-double in Brooklyn. He could obviously play another year or two based on the way he looks. But I think, you know, when you do like the Last Dance tour and you go city to city and the jersey trading and all the, you know, the tributes and all that, I think you got to stick to that. I think out of respect to all that, you only have that once. Then you start to get into what the fuck are you doing, Duke? Like we just gave you a standing ovation. We thought we were never going to see you again. Did a publicist set that up? Like, what the fuck are you doing, Duke? You got paid. You got your money. You got the Last Dance. You got crowds cheering Paul Pierce sucks. I know that's not on D Wade, but I mean, there's no more we can do. And of course, LeBron James, Chris Paul, and Carmelo Anthony were in Brooklyn for Dwayne Wade's last game when they played the Brooklyn Nets at Barclays. And I couldn't help but thinking about Carmelo. You know, LeBron will obviously get the biggest ever send-off, and it'll be a sad day even for the likes of haters like myself when he's not in the NBA. Although these playoffs, look at them as a dress rehearsal for life without LeBron, and I am looking forward to this dress rehearsal. I'm not ready for LeBron James to be gone, but this is a dress rehearsal. But the crazy shit about watching the Banana Boat Boys, and that, of course, is Carmelo, D-Wade, CP3, and LeBron James himself, is that Carmelo Anthony, I think he's done. I think he's fucking done. You know, he was with the Houston Rockets, who also have Chris Paul. We don't know why that didn't work out. We just know that it didn't work out. He left abruptly. They were talking about him signing with this team, signing with that team. He did not sign with any team this year. None of these playoff teams signed him. Like Milwaukee could have picked him up. Anybody could have picked him up. You could have got him for dirt cheap. And nobody picked up Carmelo Anthony. It makes me think, is that it? Will he get a send-off? Will there be a last dance for Carmelo? Will he ever play an NBA game again? Will his jersey get retired? I can tell you one thing. He's not getting his jersey retired as a New York Knick. He had some very good years. He put up some very good numbers as a Knick, but we didn't win shit. Do they retire his jersey in Denver? Maybe. I mean, he was incredible at Denver, and he will be in the Hall of Fame, but this is a fucked up way for Carmelo Anthony to go out. And where will he wind up next year? Will he wind up on LeBron James's Lakers? Because LeBron James is ultimately taking over the Lakers. At the time of this podcast, the Lakers have not fired the coaching staff yet. They fired the fucking trainer. I heard they fired the ushers, the hot dog makers, and every single other person in Staples. But at the time of this I Am Rapaport Stereo podcast, they have not fired Luke Walton, Brian Shaw, and the coaching staff. It could happen by the time we drop this puppy. But as of now, they haven't made that decision. I bet you they're going to do it actually Friday, the 12th in the evening. You know, stories, especially in the entertainment business, you'll notice politics. A lot of times they'll drop stories Friday afternoons because they think it'll sort of lose legs, and on Monday you'll forget about it. Dick Stain Donald Trump does that shit a lot. You'll notice that people quit, they'll get fired, or if something bad happens, or if something good happens, you never want it to come out on a Friday afternoon because it gets washed away over the weekend. But I bet you Luke Walton and Brian Shaw will not make it to Monday. That's my prediction. They're good. There's no fucking way that they're making it to Monday, April 15th. Now, I talked about this a little bit on the emergency podcast from a couple of days ago, and I never repeat things from an emergency podcast, but I really was thinking about this even harder. Jeanie Buss, is that her fucking name? Jeanie Buss. Sincerely, stop talking about it being a Laker family and all that bullshit. This is not a mom and pop pizzeria. It's not a shoe store where you're shoemakers downtown LA. Oh, we've been in business since 1966. Yo, it's the fucking Lakers. Okay, this is a cutthroat business. People want their teams to win. Trust me. And Jeanie Buss, all this, like, you know, whatever was going on with Magic and what Magic did or didn't do, whatever the fuck was going on, stop running it like it's a mom and pop business. It's not a mom and pop business. You're not a donut maker. You own the fucking Lakers, okay? Nobody had the balls to fire Luke Walton. And Jeanie Buss looks at Luke Walton like her stepson. She dated Phil Jackson for 15 years. Phil Jackson coached, raised Luke Walton. You know, they've hung out together. They've smoked weed together. They've partied together. They're very close. She wanted to see Luke thrive. Luke can't thrive with the circus in town. The circus is in LA. You know this, Jeanie Buss. The circus is in LA. So if you're going to fucking, go down that road with LeBron James, you're just going to have to turn it over to him. Who do you want to play on the team, LeBron? Who do you want to coach? And we'll give you 2-3 years, whatever it is, 3 years to win a championship. If not, get the fuck out of here. Because they got 3 years left. They're not winning a championship next year. I don't give a fuck if KD and Kyrie come. They're not winning a championship next year. It just doesn't work out that way. Look at the Miami Heatles. The first year with Chris Bosh, LeBron, and D-Wade, they were great, but they didn't win a championship. It just doesn't karmatically work out that way. So then you got 2 years left. So just ask this fucking guy. You want Ty Lue? What do you want? You want to bring back J.R. Smith, Melo? What do you want, LeBron? And I'll get out of your way, and you fucking just try to keep things down to a minimum. And this is the exact same thing that Pat Riley didn't want to do with the Miami Heat. He didn't want to just turn the fucking keys over to LeBron James and his cronies. But I guess at this point, she has no choice unless they just trade the fucking guy, which is obviously not going to happen. But the NBA playoffs are starting Saturday. They are starting Saturday, April 13th, and it's going to be a doozy. The NBA playoffs are going to be dope. The Bucks are playing the Pistons. The Raptors are playing the Magic. The 76ers are playing the Brooklyn Nets. Be careful, Joel Embiid might not play that entire series. Be careful. The Celtics versus the Pacers. If the Pacers could just beat the shit out of them. The Pacers are the 5th seed in the East without Victor Oladipo. That shit's crazy. So the Celtics are playing the Pacers. In the West, in the Western Conference, we have the Golden State Warriors are playing the Los Angeles Clippers. The Warriors are going to beat the Clippers, but watch out for Patrick Beverly. The San Antonio Spurs are playing the 2nd-seeded Denver Nuggets. Watch out for Greg Popovich. Watch out for the fucking Spurs. I'm not predicting they're going to win this series, but I will not be surprised if they pull off a coup. Okay? This is probably one of the most under-the-radar Spurs teams ever, and they're always under the radar. The Trailblazers are playing the Oklahoma City Thunder. Dame Dollar versus Russell Westbrook. Now, I got to say, one of my proudest moments as a disruptive, shit-talking sports personality came the other day. Friend of the I Am Rapaport Stereo podcast, Taylor Rooks. Great reporter, great insight, and all that stuff. She was on the podcast. She's dope. She's cool. She has her new show, and on her new show, I think it was the second interview she had, she interviewed Dame Lillard of the Portland Trailblazers, and Dame Lillard, out of nowhere, guess who he name dropped? Guess who he name checked? Me, the Gringo Mandingo. Miles Jordan, please play that clip from Taylor Rooks' new show.
Accurate to say that failure for you isn't not getting a ring. Failure for you is not being who you are.
Exactly. Some of the best players ever. I was watching Michael Rapaport, and he was talking about when you think about Gary Payton, you never think about him in Miami winning the ring. You think about Gary Payton in Seattle and Allen Iverson in Philly. Like, you just think about their legacy and what they did. For me, like I said, I just focus on what means something to me. Working for it, and if it don't happen, I can live with it, knowing that, the effort and the care was there. I went after it.
I fucking like that. You talk that good shit, and people hear it. The Rockets are playing the Utah Jazz. Rockets are the 4th seed. The Jazz are the 5th seed. That's going to be a brawl. Do not sleep on the Jazz. That is going to be a brawl. You know how I feel about Donovan Mitchell. The Jazz have a good team. They're a scrappy team. They play together. That's going to be a good series. And the NBA playoffs are underway. There's a game a day for the next, what is it? It's like a game a day for as long as these series last. So if these series last, go to 7 games, we got a game a day for the next 14 days or some shit like that. And then it's every other day, and then it starts to break up. But the round 1, don't sleep on it. Enjoy it. Watch the games. Learn about the other teams. Watch the Celtics and the Pacers. Watch the Spurs and the Nuggets. Don't just watch the Warriors. Don't just watch the Greek Freak. Learn and love these new players, these young players that some of us don't get a chance to see throughout the regular season. I'm pumped for the NBA. The NBA has and always will be fantastic.
I Am Rapaport Podcast.
In Chicago, the juicy Jussie Smollett story continues today. As of this I Am Rapaport Stereo podcast, the city of Chicago is suing juicy Jussie Smollett for false statements after the actor refused to pay his $130,000 bill. Yo, let me tell you something. I don't like lawsuits. They're a pain in the ass. Knock on wood. I have fortunately never been sued, but I gotta tell you, if I was being sued, I don't care who you got. If I got a letter, and lawsuits are real tricky and complicated, and there's ins and outs, and they're a mess. But if I got a letter or I got served from the city of Chicago saying the city of Chicago was suing me, I don't care if it was for $1.50, I'd be ready to vomit from fear. Because that just seems like, yo, you have an entire city, an entire fucking American city, one of the biggest cities in the world, one of the biggest American cities suing your ass? I'd be bugging the fuck out. But Jussie Smollett, you thought shit was sweet. You know, you're some sort of freedom fighter. You claim to be the gay Tupac. You're not the gay Tupac, Duke. I don't know if there ever will be a gay Tupac, but it ain't you. That's for sure. That's for fucking sure. Maybe someday somebody will come along and earn that title. You ain't the one, Jussie. But I would not be sleeping well knowing that the city of Chicago was coming after my ass. No, Bruno. Another thing that is going on that I already talked about, and it really bothers me. It really fucking bothers me. Robert De Niro, Bobby D had to show up in court again this week to the Manhattan Supreme Court for his ongoing custody battle and his divorce. And these fucking scumbag photographers and paparazzi, they will not let Bob just chill. Yo, if anybody deserves, take your picture. He knows, take your picture and keep it moving. You don't need 400 pictures. This fucking guy, Robert De Niro, has done so much for New York City. He's done so much for Lower Manhattan. He created the Tribeca Film Festival when the city was on its knees after 9/11. Remember that the Tribeca Film Festival came months after 9/11. Not years. It came right after 9/11. And obviously it's a business, but at first it was nothing. No one was involved with Lower Manhattan. No one was starting a business, starting a film festival, you know, not even a mile away from where the World Trade Center, where the buildings collapsed. And just, we all know what he's done. We all know what he means. This guy is going through something. Take your picture and keep it moving. These fucking scumbags got their cameras all in Bobby D's face. They won't let him be. And I'm really surprised he doesn't show up with a couple of gavones and push these guys around. I'm not saying beat him up, but push him around. Like, yo, let Bob De Niro live. He's going through a custody case. He's going through a divorce case in Lower Manhattan, just blocks away from where Tribeca is for my non-New York listeners, and they won't leave my guy alone. Let this fucking guy breathe. Get your fucking camera out of Bobby D's face.
I Am Rapaport Podcast.
What else we got here? Oh, the HBO documentary, Leaving Neverland, which continues to divide opinions and people scrutinizing and what's real, what's not real. There was a rumor going around, you know, the internet. You could say anything you want and it'll just catch fire. There was a rumor going around that HBO had pulled the documentary, Finding Neverland, because they thought that the allegations made from the people, the filmmaker and the two accusers, whose names I can't remember right now, and I don't fact check anything when we're doing the I Am Rapaport Stereo podcast. I'm sorry. That it was false and that the whole documentary was a bunch of bullshit. Now, whether or not the documentary is bullshit or not, the Finding Neverland documentary is still up on HBO. You dumb fucks, you. Just because it's on Twitter, just because it's on Instagram doesn't mean it's fucking true. A lot of the people that are saying it's not on HBO don't even have HBO. No disrespect to anybody that doesn't have HBO, but all you got to do is check the fucking app. Just check your on demand and it's right there. You dumb fucks, you. So the Finding Neverland is still on HBO. And like I said, just because it's on the internet doesn't mean it's even close to being true. We call that fake fucking news. Not real news. We call that fake fucking news. It's time. Miles, Jordan, please give me the infamous Sick Fuck of the Week theme song. This is an award that is earned, not given. Earned, not given. It's called the Sick Fuck of the Week. Sick She's really fucking sick, man. She's fucking whack. Why? Make him stop. You smell like a sick fuck. You look like a sick fuck. That ain't supposed to be on a plane, you sick fuck. What are you doing? Hey, man, leave that chicken alone. Leave the chicken alone. Well, what are you doing to the chicken? That doesn't belong in a chicken. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. This is the Sick Fuck of the Week segment, an award-winning I Am Rapaport Stereo podcast segment. This award goes not to just anybody. It goes to a certain kind of sick fuck with a certain kind of, as the French say, a je ne sais quoi. I appreciate all the suggestions. I appreciate all the input from the fans. Of course, the Sick Fuck of the Week Whisper. And again, OG Paul Wall, for who has a knack. Guy has a knack. You know how they say some guys have a knack for making steals in the NBA? Like, yo, he just has a knack for the ball, or he has a knack for rebounding. Paul Wall, OG Paul Wall, has a knack for finding those sick fucks, along with the Sick Fuck of the Week Whisper. This one, is Florida in the house? Is Florida in the house? Hell yes. I know a lot of people love Olive Gardens. Everybody loves to go to an Olive Garden to get a quick, simple, fairly priced meal. Well, watch out if you're in Naples, Florida, because there is a guy, a sick fuck, who looks like a sick fuck, who is sitting outside of Olive Garden. Now, this is an extreme, but if you look at the picture of the guy, he looks like the poster boy for all things sick fuck. He was harassing patrons outside of Olive Garden, cursing at them, shouting profanities at the people. And on top of that, he's out there eating spaghetti. Who knows where he got it from? With his bare, fucking, filthy, dirty hands. Moving on. In Ohio, an Ohio woman who, yes, looks like a sick fuck, who allegedly had a history of dog sex. What? This woman had a history of dog sex. She has a reputation of having sex with dogs, bestiality at its finest. Well, she was arrested and charged with bank robbery this week in Ohio. Amber Finney. Yes, don't be surprised. Of course she looks like a sick fuck. She has a history and a reputation of having sex with dogs. She walked into an Ohio bank, handed one of the tellers a note, said she didn't want to hurt her, but she would. You know the rest of the story. You know how this movie plays out. She had a half-cooked plan, and she got arrested. And the crazy thing about this is the bank teller gave her some money. She left the bank. It started to snow. She was meeting a man down the street. All the fucking cops needed to do was follow the footprints in the fresh snow. Not only are you a sick fuck, not only are you a dog fucker, but you're a dumbass also. We got a real live one in the UK, and this guy looks like a real true blue sick fuck. The man's name is Malcolm Downs. He's got Coke bottle glasses. He's got some follicles of hair sprouting, but not many. He's got a big, red, fucked up nose, and he looks... This guy is truly everything that you want from an I Am Rapaport Stereo podcast sick fuck. Malcolm Downs has a problem. His problem is he can't stop. These are his words. He can't stop masturbating over horses. He got caught twice, two fucking times in 24 hours. He said he had been planning to see a doctor for his libido. He got arrested earlier in the day, literally went to jail, okay, was released, and then found another stable of horses and started jerking off again. The policeman said, and I quote, "This activity went on for 3 or 4 minutes. His penis was exposed for about 10 minutes. During a police interview, he told the detectives, and I quote, I sat on a bench, I was feeling sexy, and I started to touch myself." The whole thing was caught on tape. I don't want to see the tape. See, some people, and these are people that I'm concerned with, some people out there might say, I want to see the tape. I want to see the tape of a sick fuck by the name of Malcolm Downs jerking off in front of a horse. That's not something me, the Gringo Mandingo, ever wants to see. I'm not interested. If you're interested in that, you might wind up on the Sick Fuck of the Week segment someday yourself, because that's just way out there, okay? That's just a wild for the night, okay? Why would you want to see that tape? But obviously the police officers, they got to arrest this person. They got to keep him off the streets. They have to keep him away from any animals. My mom has horses. Okay? God forbid this guy got a hold of one of my mom's horses. He's choking his chicken in front of one of my mom's horses. One of my mom's horses could be scarred emotionally. Horses have feelings. Horses are very emotional animals. They're very sensitive animals. Keep this guy away from all horses at all costs. In China, there is a company that has developed a sperm extractor. Now, if you're of a certain age, you go for a urologist, or you might want to donate your sperm or save your sperm for babies. You know, maybe you want to save your eggs. People do that. Or you might want to get a vasectomy like I've gotten. Okay? They tell you to go in the bathroom and skeet. Okay? You got to go in the bathroom and skeet into a cup. Okay? Well, some people are not comfortable doing that. They don't want to do that. So some sick fuck in China, okay, who runs some Chinese company, created a skeet machine. They call it a sperm extractor. I call it a skeet machine. It is helping clinics collect the semen from donors that are reluctant to skeet in a hospital setting. It's not like you skeet in the hospital hallway. You go in the privacy of a bathroom. Some of them even have pornos. Some of them have like porno magazines. They got whatever you need to do to get that skeet into the cup. I could tell you one thing. I'd be more embarrassed about using a semen extractor, aka a skeet machine, than jerking off in the bathroom privately. What are you doing out there in China? What's the matter with you people? And finally, in Portland, Oregon, a sick fuck, 51-year-old sick fuck, has been charged with sexual abuse and sexually assaulting an animal. He was sentenced to 60 days in jail, 3 years of probation on each charge, and may not possess a dog for 15 years. How can you... This guy should have a life sentence. This guy raped a dog so bad and hurt the dog so bad, they had to put the dog down. He fucked a dog to death. And they're saying he can't possess or own a dog for 15 years? How about for life? How about you can never have a pet? How about you can't be within 90 feet of anybody else's dog ever again? And if you do somehow get your hands on someone's dog, you go back to jail for 5 years, sicko. Fidel Lopez pleaded guilty and receives the maximum sentence for sexually assaulting a dog. He didn't just assault it, he killed the fucking dog. I'm disgusted. This is disgusting. This is offensive. And this guy can't have a pet for 15 years? How about for the rest of his sick fucking life? I'm done. I am finished. Listen, let's move forward. I told you it was coming. I told you the butcher was here, okay? Coming up next on the I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast, Buffalo's finest. That's right, I said Buffalo's finest. From Griselda Records, Benny the motherfucking Butcher. The Butcher is here. I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast with my guy, Benny the Butcher. Check him out now. Let's go.
Check. Yeah.
The Butcher is here. The Butcher is in the fucking house.
Let's go. That's a
Benny
fact.
the Butcher.
What's up with you, baby? Thanks for having me.
Oh, come on, man. I appreciate it. I'm a fan. You know, first I have to say my man Barr, who I think you came and he's the biggest fan of Griselda. the movement, all you guys. He fucks with you guys.
That's
and
fire.
he hit me to you guys a few years ago. And you know, I remember the first thing that came in my mind when I heard that, like, I don't remember who it was. It was one of you guys, but it was like, you guys are like old souls. Like, I don't know how old you are, but you know, you brought this, you know, I'm critical of hip hop, you know, and I'm critical of music and shit like that, but you guys brought this essence, this sound, this griminess, you know, this culture, this violence, you know, this slick talk.
Right.
Back to hip hop. And I was like, who the fuck are these guys? Like, when he's like, Buffalo. So first of all, Buffalo, like most people, when we think of Buffalo, we think of obviously the Buffalo Bills.
Right.
I think of the movie Buffalo 66. I think of Rob Gronkowski because I think he's from Buffalo. We think of Buffalo Wings. But the last thing that Rick James, who made street music.
Definitely Rick.
Rick was, so how, what the fuck is, like, it's almost like, I mean, listen, I grew up in New York City.
Right.
When Wu-Tang brought Staten Island, which is, it's 45
Right
minutes
there.
from where I live. We were like, where is this place? So what the fuck is going on in Buffalo?
Man, it's like a grimy town, right? It's East Coast, because it's New York State, but it's like a little Midwestern. You know what I'm saying?
In terms of what?
Location.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Location. We got our own identity. You know what I'm saying? We talk the way we talk. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Bills is our team, you know what I mean? Buffalo Wings is good food there. So we like, it's our own world up there. It's a grimy fucking town because it's like, it's poor, you know what I mean? And it's a lot of talent up there. But growing up in Buffalo, I'm saying, I loved it. You know what I mean? I loved it. It made me who I am. But it's like one of them small town vibes, you know what I'm saying? Where the streets is really the streets.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not a lot of...
It's not gentrified.
Yeah, there's none of that going on. And there's not a lot of businesses there or nothing like that. So it's like the middle of nowhere almost, but it's like the dopest people come out of there. You know what I mean? So
who else is from Buffalo like that? I just went service, but like what else is from Buffalo that we don't know that Buffalo is proud of?
Let me see. You know, Jaws is from Buffalo.
Okay.
Who played for the dude who died used to be the reporter on ESPN.
Yeah.
He played for the Eagles.
Okay, Jaworski.
Yep. He's from Buffalo. Man, I'm trying to think. Man, there's a lot of dudes from Buffalo. They say Brian McKnight is from Buffalo. Okay. They said that somebody bumped it to him though, and he denied it. So I don't give him his credit though. You know
and then hip hop in Buffalo, like you guys put this. It's like when Thuggish Ruggish Bones Thugs Harmony went we were like. Cleveland, what the fuck is Cleveland? You know, and it was like I never even associated fucking Cleveland with anything. So when like hip hop from Buffalo, it's such a hard way to get discovered in music. You could be right in fucking Manhattan, you could be right in Los Angeles, you could be right in Chicago.
Exactly.
So to push out of Buffalo to get your music, talk to me about that journey. I know there's, and then I want to break down like the group and the crew of Griselda. But see, like just talk to me like how do you get out of Buffalo in terms of getting the music heard?
See, and a lot of people don't realize how hard that was. Coming from Buffalo, also doing the type of music we doing.
Right.
It's a long grind. You got to stick with it, and you got to be on your A game. You know what I'm saying? And it got to be pure. So I think we just did it like that. You know, Westside Gunn, he the mastermind of this shit. He the architect, and he a person who just the quality. We kept it all quality. You know what I'm saying? With the beats from Derringer and just staying at it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't know, but each of us got a long history underground in the game. We've been Buffalo legends in like Western New York, upstate New York. We've been legends doing shows. People been having to pay. If you wanted us on the song, people been having to pay us for verses for the last 10 years.
Okay, so it's been 10 years. And when you say Gunn is the mastermind, explain why. Like explain his role in terms of the guidance of you guys.
Well, basically, Conway's the general.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So basically, Conway was rapping and doing his thing, and Wes really wasn't rapping more so. He was just like behind the scenes and like managing Conway.
Okay.
Conway ended up getting shot. You know what I'm saying?
How many years ago was that?
2012.
So he had already been rhyming before he got shot.
Hell yeah. He was a fucking legend from, battling niggas in the 90s, you know what I'm saying, to just doing mixtapes in the town. So yeah, he was already like a legend in the town before that, way before that. So after Conway got shot, Wes really stepped up in the play. I'm saying, and was doing more of the rapping and taking care of more of the business. While me at the same time, I'm still doing it, but I'm in and out of prison at the same time. So I can't get my feet held firmly down, you know what I'm saying? So it's like when Wes grinded up with this Griselda shit, he did the hoodies and it went hand in hand, and he just had a situation, and he was just letting me know. He was like, yo, Buzz, come, you know what I'm saying? I want to sign you, da-da-da. And I knew what he was doing, and he was already hitting me for features. Like Fly God, I got on that album. I tell people that album got us here.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That album got us here. That was like the Tana Talk 3 of then, you know what I'm saying? And when that album came out, a lot of people started looking towards Wes's way.
Okay.
And he was looking towards Conway's way and my way. And then I knew I started feet in the streets after that. You know what I mean? So hell yeah, man. Wes, he put everything together. He the one who sat down, got the deal with Shady, and you know what I'm saying, and pulled us along with it.
Okay, so what is Griselda? Who is Griselda? Is it Griselda Records? Is this just what is Griselda specifically? 'Cause
okay.
It's interesting because, like I referenced Wu-Tang, I referenced Mobb Deep, I referenced the Locks, but Wu-Tang, not to put you like you have to accomplish what they accomplished because it's so much, but just in terms of everybody's got their own identity. Obviously
right.
it was under Wu, but then and at the time with
Exactly.
Wu-Tang, there wasn't like you could follow so much, but you guys also don't put all your details out, which kind of makes it a puzzle, which I like that.
Right.
So break it down as much as you want to break it down, or you can break it down.
Okay, yeah, I could break it right down. You know what I'm saying? We're not a group. Wes and Conway, they brothers. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I didn't know that.
And those are my cousins. We all family. You know what I'm saying? Everybody is related.
Got
so
you.
Wes was doing his thing, Conway was doing his thing, and then they decided to bring me along. So we like each individual artist, you know what I'm saying? I got my crew, BSF, you know what I'm saying, the Black Soprano family.
Right.
Those are dudes who be with me, you know what I'm saying? Rick Hyde, Duffel Bag, Shay, City Boy, you know what I'm saying? And we all a team because we all been together. Like these dudes know Wes and Conway, like I know them, you know what I'm saying?
Got you.
So it's like everybody been around. It's like Rick standing right here, like Wes is his man too, Conway's his people too, and those are my cousins. And so it's like we all family, we been here. So it's like just in a situation where my paperwork with Griselda is not like, you know what I'm saying, like, yo, Benny, I'm signing, you got to do this, do that, and that. It's like, I got a record deal, we about to be lit. Come on, Buzz, like that type of shit.
And you got the record deal. So Griselda, so who is signed to Shady? Is Shady Record, and how did that I mean, it's like fucking being recruited by Michael Jordan.
Right, that's a fact.
That's a
fact.
big, I mean, there's a few of them, but that's like, there's
That's
a few
big.
people
That's
like
big.
Shady Records, and when he puts his finger on somebody, his track record is huge. So
say
who
a
is
lot.
signed to Shady?
Westside Gunn and Conway signed to Shady. And that came about, like the album Fly God, that came about because he already had Danny Brown on that album.
Right.
He had Action Bronson on that album.
Right.
These was dudes who was being managed by Paul.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? By Paul's company. So it was a thing where he was talking about management, you know what I'm saying? So it ended up turning into a deal.
Okay.
So, you know what I mean?
And were you
That type
guys
of
like tripping the fuck out that you got signed? Like, have you met Eminem?
Yeah, hell yeah. It's
So
crazy.
like when you get from all the shit you've been through personally, and Conway, I wanted to get both of you guys the other day, but we couldn't do it time-wise. But all the shit you guys have been through in your life, the good, the bad, and the ugly, the crime, the him getting shot, the being arrested, and all this shit, and then you're like with fucking Eminem, like just meeting him, like
No,
because
for real,
he's even if you didn't sign him, just him meeting you, he's interested. Are you like tripping the fuck out?
Every day. Like even I'm saying I'm a fan of you, you know what I'm saying? And we just kicking it.
Right.
And I just like your style. I'm like, damn, like Michael Rapaport is my homeboy. I'm saying that's crazy. So, but I'm just taking it one day at a time. And Royce, I always say this. Royce told me don't stop and smell the roses, man. Because if you got time to stop and smell the roses, you ain't fucking working. So I'm just working and enjoying every moment. But it's crazy, you know what I'm saying? And we grind it up to it. I tell people my age all the time. I'm 34 years old. And I've been doing this since I was about 14.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? So I thought in my town, I was projected to be here 10 years ago.
I got you.
But it didn't happen like that. Maybe I wasn't ready or maybe I didn't put in enough work. But so that's why when you said we old souls, it's like niggas is grown ass men.
I
You know
got
what I'm
you.
saying? With teenage kids.
I got
so
you.
it's different. We not coming to this for the money or for the litness. It's just pure culture and we understand what it took to get here. So we not wasting no time. We not taking shit for granted. You know what I mean?
I got to ask you, because it just happened and it's on everybody, Nipsey Hussle Talk to me about what his music meant and just what happened and how it must have affected you, and it's affected everybody.
Right.
You know, and he was all about independent grime, and his story, now everybody, if you were familiar with it, people have become more familiar with it. Just talk about what that meant to have it happen. And it probably bugged you out because, you know, you see somebody so successful and then something so crazy happens.
Nip is a poster boy for guys like me. You know what I'm saying? Guys like me was still in the hood, in the trenches, watching Nip like, damn, if he could do it, I could do it. You know what I'm saying? He represented dudes like me. And to see him, like, take it to where he took it, you know what I'm saying? The relationships that he had off music and the game that he was given, it was like, you know how they say, if somebody make it, that's a point for us, man. That was like 50 points for us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because he was respected in so many circles, and he was a gang member, so he was showing you the other side of that shit. And it affect you because it's like, damn, you know what I'm saying? It just bring you back to reality. You know what I'm saying? You know how shit bring you, because I do shows all the time. You know, we security, we moving like this, but shit like that bring you back to reality, you know what I mean? Like, even though it had nothing to do with me, my team tightened up security. It affected people that way. You know what I mean? Something over here could affect how my team work. I was watching, I was on Twitter and I seen Currency put up how when that happened, his father came to his office and was standing outside with the hammer on him, and until he worked all day until he left out and put his car out just when that happened. So it affected everybody in that type of way. And it's just fucked up. But Nipsey, he was a hustler, man. He gonna live forever, man, just because of what he represented, man. He represented for millions of dudes in the streets who want to be that, who never going to be that, who had to live through him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that was an L. That was an L for all of us.
Yeah, it was terrible.
God bless the dead.
Absolutely. All right, so the sound of what you're doing. What are like I mean, like you hear D Block, you hear Mobb Deep, you hear like, what is your reference point of what you're trying to do? You particular, like Tana Talk 3 is like, and also the thing that I like about your shit is that each one is getting better and better.
Right,
and you started high, but like Tana Talk was like, in my opinion, your best shit.
Right. It was, in a lot of people's opinion. My reference is 92 to 2002. That's my reference. That music, you know what I'm saying? The East Coast music. That's what I grew up off of. That's what I was listening to. That's why I'm trying to put jewels in the music. And I'm trying to make it like it sound like, you know what I mean? That mafioso shit. The G raps, the Mob, the Reasonable Doubt hoes, and even the later on hoes and Biggie, you know what I'm saying? And Who Shot Your shit, and Pac, and just all that 90s era, man. That shit was rich with just lyricism and just production. You know what I'm saying? And that's what the fuck we grew up off of.
And how do you reach out? Like, you had Alchemist too. Did he do all of Tana Talk?
No, he did half of it. He did like half of it.
So he's a motherfucker. Like, he's fucking good. Like, how did that come about? And how are you reaching out to people to produce songs? And how does it work? Like, how are you picking songs? Because also, like, the project that I saw you guys working on the other day, you guys put out a lot of fucking music.
Right.
Like, a lot of fucking, which I like that. Like, you're not being precious. Like, you're going, you're rocking. You know, it's not, it's not precious. You know, not to say that it's not valuable, but it's not like you're like, oh, I gotta wait till this moment. Like, you get the moment is happening. It's not here. It's happening right in front of us.
That's why we do that though, because everybody don't catch everything.
Right.
So sometimes they might miss that. Okay, like Tana Talk 3, you know how many people be like, yo, this is my first time ever hearing you on Tana Talk 3 and I love it. They don't even know about Butcher on steroids or a friend of ours. They don't know about none of that. So it's just like, whoever I didn't catch on Tana Talk 3, I'm about to catch them again. They probably heard of me, so I'm about to shoot. I'm about to catch them again. And the relationship with Al came from through Griselda, because fucking Al was damn near Griselda now. You know what I'm saying? He produced on Conway shit. He produced on West shit. He produced with Derringer. They got a good relationship, and he produced on my album. So it's like I was introduced to Al through Westside Gun at the house, at the lab, and you know what I mean? And my first day meeting him, he was playing the beat for Wes, and Wes was like, man, Benny, it sound crazy on that. You know, he threw me the alley-oop, and I dunked it, you know what I'm saying? And that's 52, that's on my album.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Facts.
And how is that working? Like, with Gunn doing his shit and Conway doing his shit and you're doing your shit? Like, you guys rock on each other's albums. Like, how does that work? Like, is it just organic, or like you hear something and you're like, yo, I want to get Conway on this? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, it's like you said, it's both ways. I might hear something and want Conway on it, or Wes will hear something want me on it, or we might set out to do something. Like we doing a project right now that's coming out on Shady. You know what I'm saying? It's called What Machine Gun Do. You know what I'm saying? That's my brother, Machine Gun Black, rest in peace. And it's just synergy. Because like I said, like we literally been rapping together for a long time before anybody here together as a group doing shit together. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's almost natural. It's hard to explain it. You know what I'm saying? Me and Conway go back and forth. He hear me on something, send this to me. He know what I'm going to do. So it's like, it's almost natural the way we do this.
You guys could tell, like, yo, this is a good joint for him. This is. So in terms of, I've heard rumors of a project with Premier, with DJ Premier. What, is that announced? Is that official? Is that just a rumor?
That's a rumor.
That's a rumor.
That's a rumor.
Now, what have the rumors said about this? Like, based on what you've heard about the rumors, what have the rumors said about a project? Because that to me makes perfect sense.
The rumors said if we do a project like that, these rap niggas could go night-night. You know what I'm saying? That'll happen. If Primo and Griselda, that'd be fucking crazy. But that rumor came about from, we did one song with him, and he promoting the song, so people say seen Primo and Griselda and went fucking crazy, you know what I'm saying? But that song about to come out. It's fucking nuts.
It's coming out.
It's coming out
So,
soon.
but there's only been one song actually done.
That we did together, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yep.
And how was that to get a Premier beat?
That's fucking nuts. Like Primo?
Like that's a match
crazy.
made in heaven in terms of like your guys' sound and like his beats.
That's bucket list shit for me, you know what I'm saying? That's why we leaving that play in the playbook. Like, it's way too early for, you know what I mean? To me, in my opinion, it's way too early for Griselda and Primo shit.
Why do you say that?
Because it's like other plays in the playbook that we gonna call in before we do something like that. We gotta be like bigger, in my opinion. We gotta be bigger. For that high quality of music, how that's gonna sound, that gotta be for everybody. Like I said, so everybody don't catch everything. The people gotta catch that.
I got you.
So we got more grinding to do. So we have all eyes on us. That's a play you throw when it's all eyes on you.
I got
shit.
you.
You know what I'm saying?
I got you. That makes sense. And what about 50 Cent, his crew, your crew, Shady. Now, has there been any discussion, even philosophically, like, you get G-Unit, they haven't been rocking for a minute, they've been sort of disbanded or whatever the fuck's going on with them. Everybody's got everybody's phone number, What about the idea of a Griselda G-Unit? Like, that would be a very fantastic, very exciting thing. Like, has that been a rumor? Has that been put out there?
The streets are gonna get a taste of something like that. That's all I can say this year, real soon, and they're gonna be happy when they get it. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a little more so what that, but it's gonna be crazy. Trust me, it's gonna be nuts.
Okay, now one thing that I think is interesting, because there's so much gloss in hip hop right now. I mean, there's like 2 or 3 different fucking genres of fucking music. Like, and every day I'm hearing about some new shit, and I've stopped listening to a lot of it. I've given up. I don't even try, because I'm like, this is just gonna make me frustrated. This is gonna just make me say some shit on Instagram and stuff like that. When you see like so much of the, I don't even know what the word is, like this, I call it synthy. To me, it's synthy. Right. Guys like, there's big artists who you don't even know their real voices because they have these components to their voices that they add on a computer.
The plugins and shit.
Plugins, like, and it's not a real voice. And you see how quick that is to take off. Like, these guys just take off out of fucking nowhere. The music, to me, and I know I sound old by saying this, it sounds the fucking same. When you see that and you see like the money train of that, like, why don't you go, well, fuck it. Let's clean ourselves up. Let's fucking dance around like assholes and do this, because this is the easy way. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you. But we can't do nothing like that. First and foremost, like I said, I'm a grown-ass man. And second of all, it's more about the money to me. I'm saying, because Griselda, nobody in Griselda is missing any meals. You know what I'm saying? We ain't starving. Niggas is getting bread. So it's like, you know what I mean? Is we gonna sell our soul to get more bread? Like, that don't make no sense to me.
And I don't think you guys can fake it anyway.
And the respect. Like, when I tell you, like, the respect, the people that I met and they tell me that they listen to my album and they like it and they want to work with me, that's worth like millions of dollars. I swear to God, like, I'm a fan, like, I'm a hip hop guy. You know what I mean?
Right.
I grew up like studying hip hop. My pops listen to hip hop like this. I'm living my dream every day. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't feel like I gotta do more. You know, people tell me that, like, yo, you need a radio record. Like, I actually don't need a radio record. You know what I mean? It will behoove the radio to play some of our shit, because I got a ton of streams, and the people go to my shit to listen to my music.
Right.
They don't play it on the radio. So it will maybe behoove the radio to play our shit, but they don't. And we're not tripping because people find our music in a different way. Everything is not for everybody. You know what I'm saying? The shows is always sold out.
What kind of crowds are at the shows? Because I haven't been at a show yet. Like, what kind of crowds are? Because I feel like it would be like it just reminds me of like old Wu-Tang crowd, like before they were big. Like what kind of people are at these shows?
Man, it's all types of people. It's black, white, Mexican, fucking hippies, 9-to-5 working dudes, gangsters. You know what I'm saying? It's like chicks sprinkled through the crowd. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know, man. It's crazy. Like regular working dudes and nerds, like real shit, athletes. You know what I'm saying? It's like the dude. This dude. I forgot his name. But I'm like, damn, this nigga like my shit. And I'm like, oh, this nigga play for the Cowboys. You know what I'm saying? Like, dudes repost my shit, pro skaters. So like, those are the people who show up to the shows. And I was telling my kids that earlier. I was like, that's the thing about this type of music. Our fans are somebody. You know what I'm saying? It's not 15-year-old little fucking Johnny. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like somebody like a CEO of a fucking company. You know what I'm saying? Who like our music, because it's grown people music.
I agree.
I like that about that. You know
I
what I'm
agree. You guys have worked with so many good people. You got Wu certified from Raekwon. He gave you love. You worked, before he passed, Prodigy, Alchemist, Ninth Wonder. Like, what does it mean to you to have those kinds of people? You know, D Block. What does it mean for you? Like, just to have that sort of, that certification from guys like that you're probably fucking fans of, that you could probably recite all their shit.
Right. That's everything. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was talking about. That's worth more than $1 million, because you can't. It's hard to name the last time those guys stamped something. All of those guys, from Mob to D Block, the Wu, Eminem, Hove.
Has Hove reached out? Like, have you heard from Hove in any way, shape, or form?
The last time I talked about what I said, something about Hove on the microphone, this shit was on every fucking blog.
Right. What was the thing you said the last time you said something about it?
I said that he told me that I shouldn't do the XXL cover.
That you shouldn't.
Yeah, I shouldn't.
It's like a curse.
Not like it's like a curse. Basically, it's like it's not for me. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like it's not for me.
Did he tell you this in person, or did he tell you this on text? Like, how did that you said, that you already said, because I don't fish for quotes, but I didn't hear that. When you articulated that and it got all over the blogs, how was that articulated to you?
In person.
That's fucking crazy. I mean, Jay-Z has gotten so big. It's almost like fucking Steve Jobs or some shit. It's like, like in person.
No,
like,
right.
You know what I mean? He's
Right.
so big. I mean, and his music, it means so much. And it's just, I mean, he's you guys when you were young in terms of like, he came, the independent shit and Rockefeller and, it's crazy.
And getting all those cosigns make me feel like, okay, like I am the shit. That shit, it is coming out. I am doing the right thing.
Does it bug you out?
Yes, that shit's fucking crazy. Like he told me that in person. Like, that's, you know what I'm saying? Raekwon called me little bro. Ghostface called me on the phone like, yeah, your shit. I don't be listening to nigga shit, but I listen to your shit. Yeah, I'm fucking with it. I'm like, yeah, word.
Were you bugging like?
Like Ghostface called the phone. This was just little old me here still. You know what I'm saying? I'm not like, I'm new to this shit, so I'm enjoying it. And all of that is worth way more than these dudes doing, because they'd never get that.
I understand.
And I'm saying, and they know they could stand in a room with me and be looking around like, and with those guys, and and the conversation would be about us, you know what I'm saying, and not about them.
I got you.
So.
Your writing process. I was in the studio the other day, and as much as I've loved hip hop, I've only had the opportunity to be in studio with a few people over the years, and I'm always tripped out by it, because the end product of what fans listen to, whatever it is, good, bad, or indifference, little this one, little that one, it doesn't matter. But the end product we hear, when you actually see, and I actually saw this with my own eyes. I saw the beat being made. I saw you come into the studio. I saw Conway come into the studio, and then I saw a song being made, and I didn't see a pen. Now, one thing is, One thing Jay-Z and Biggie, the worst thing they ever did for hip hop was say they didn't write.
That's the worst fucking thing they did.
That's the worst thing. And I say that with all due respect.
People got trendy with that. You know what I'm saying?
Not everybody could do that.
Right.
So I mean that with all due respect. But like when that was put out there, it's like, well, he didn't write. I don't need to write. But I saw you for like, it was like 2 hours listening to the beat, circling around, and then leave, kind of break out of, in conversation, and then go back into it, never write anything down. And then I think I saw you, you spit it to your man, like you just kind of shared it with him, like kind of like just getting it out. I don't know how the science is, because I mean, I'm an actor. I can't remember even really good lines like that. Like I was thinking, I was like, I don't fucking do, like I couldn't make up the lines. So what is your process like in terms of that? Like, because that tripped me out to watch. And Conway did the same thing. He's absorbing it, but when you did the first take of it, like it was a well thought out verse.
Right.
How does that work?
It's like a puzzle. And somebody asked me like, yo, how you do that? I remember the words. It's like walking with a flashlight. If I'm on the second bar, I don't know. I don't know the sixth or eighth bar in my brain. But when I get to the sixth, to the fifth bar, I can see the sixth one with the flashlight. You know what I'm saying? It's like walking in a dark room with a flashlight. You don't know it's a dresser right there till you see a little bit of it. Like, oh, it's a dresser right there. So when that pieces every bar together. You know what I'm saying? And I used to write with a pen. I tell people this, but I always been a feeling dude. I'll hear the beat. Oh shit, and then I go write like a couple bars, and then I write it. Used to go write it down on the paper, but that used to fuck on my train of thought. So I just stopped going to the paper. You know what I'm saying? I felt like going to the paper slowed me down, and then it was about time I write half the verse down, and then I'm ready to finish the verses like I'm starting all over again. And you know what I mean? Fuck the paper.
But so when you're actually getting to the booth, do you know what you're gonna say? You're not. It's not freestyling. No,
it's not freestyling. It's not freestyling.
It's in your head, and you're just getting it out.
Exactly.
Do you have there been any lines on any songs where, when you said you get to the second bar, you don't really see the eighth bar until you get to the seventh bar? Is there any references that you can make like on a specific song where you're like, well, bar number 12, I didn't see that coming, but that was some shit. It just sort of came out.
No,
because it's like I imagine it's like being a good ball player. Like you see a guy, like I was talking to my wife, Steph Curry made some crazy shots. She said, "Is that luck or is that practice?" I said, "It's a combination of both." He's made the shot before, but maybe never like that.
Yeah, see, and that's my thing. It's a thin line between a good bar and some bullshit. You know what I mean? Because some dudes go overboard, but it's like, man, it's like walking with a flashlight, my nigga. And I feel like when I write like that, that's when I'm my most creative, because you said like you said, I'm walking around. Like I don't like to do it in front of people. I don't like people to hear it until I'm done. You know what I'm saying? So I don't like people coming and listening to it. So that's why when I spit it to my man, I'm just like in his ear. I'm just giving it to one person. It's a room full of people.
Right.
I'm just rapping it to one person.
I caught that, but I knew exactly what it was. It was almost like you were like, it was like a test run.
Exactly.
It's almost like you're vomiting it out to like, that's like the way to get it on paper. Like once you say it once, it goes to memory in a weird way.
And that's what I do. Like the verse be done, half the time I'm spending going over the verse again in my head so I can remember it.
Right.
I'm being repetitive with it again and again. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's tricky though. I don't forgot better shit than these dudes ever wrote in their whole fucking life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes I done lost shit because you get bars, you might be anywhere, you might think of some shit, or I might be in the studio writing some shit. In the middle of that, like I said, take some time. In the middle of that, like, yo, let's go get something to eat. I go get back, like, oh shit, what the fuck was I saying? Fuck it, start over.
You'll have to, like, if it doesn't go to memory, like, you'll just start again.
Yeah. I'm saying.
All right, so I want to talk to you just specifically about a couple of your songs and just the process, and just walk me through it, because India, I love that song, and I love the flow of it. I love the cadence of it, and it's just such a classic fucking boom bap song.
Right.
And so talk to me about that song, like what you remember when the first time you heard the beat, who made the beat, where were you, and break that song down.
Choop made the beat. Choop, the producer, made the beat. He from Rochester. Shout out to Choop. Me and him got good chemistry. He sent me the beat, and I heard it. As soon as I heard the beat, I knew I wanted to tell a deep story on the beat. As soon as I heard it, I started off. It was inspired. It was inspired like by Conway. He got the cow, and he was talking about my brother, when my brother passed, Machine Gun Black, how that made him feel. And he say a line. He was like, he don't know who did it, and it ate his pride. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn. He expressed feelings in that song that he never sat down and told me. And that was basically me doing the same thing on India. I was just like venting on the song, venting. And then, you know what I'm saying? I said the part about my girl, and then I asked her to name the song, and she named it after her. And it's like a lot of real shit in that song, talking about my brother. I just like to be real transparent in the music, because that's so relatable. People tell me I'm relatable all the time, you know what I mean?
That's a good fucking word. Transparent in the music.
Yeah.
I like that.
They got used to handouts. I always will stand out. My own cloth became my own boss. That's how you branch out. You never put in work with me, then certainly I can't vouch. That trap spot in 03, I ran like a slant route. Cause I was linked with older niggas. Book bag and dough was in it. Feds pulled us over with it. Shingun was my co-defendant. Now we gone and I'm coping with it. Before he died, we had a chat. But before that, we ain't spoke a minute. It was over shit he did, over shit I said. But his last words to me, bruh, hold your head.
Like, you feel like you know me. Like, you could. I tweeted this other day. These dudes make full-length albums, and you could listen to the whole thing, and you still don't know nothing about this dude. You don't know nothing personal about this guy, and that wasn't the formula when I grew up. You know what I'm saying? It went to something. Like I said, I don't nag these young niggas about how they make their music. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they don't give a fuck if we like it or not. It is what it is, but there's nothing personal in the music, and you know what I mean? I really don't care to hear all that hippity-hoppity shit if you're not saying nothing. I'm still a lyric type of guy.
I fucking agree, man. I agree. There's got to be some fucking balance.
It got to be.
You can make your fucking joints, but there's got to be some Who are you? What are you?
And don't be standing around like you that guy just because you lit off some streams and shit. Don't be standing around comparing yourself to the greats because of that, because that's so fucking disrespectful.
I fucking agree.
I'm saying that's disrespectful.
I fucking agree. I really agree with that. All right, so India, that's a fucking dope song.
Yeah,
like,
man,
I just love the emotion in it and the beat of it. Song off Tana Talk, which got a lot of excitement. It's a great title, 97 Hove.
Right.
Tell me, like, how that song, like, what you remember about how that song came to fruition.
When Derringer made the beat, he was like, yo, it sound like some Reasonable Doubt shit. And then I got like 97 Hove. That stuck in my head. And I wanted to like make a hook that said 97 Hove, but I never did. But through the rap, I just kept saying 97 Hove, because like me, that's like 97 Hove is like a few years ago Nipsey Hussle. You know what I'm saying? And it's like those it's like was Master P at the time. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I feel like, that's what I'm doing. I'm not like saying I'm Jay-Z and comparing myself to Jay-Z. I'm saying it's like I'm an independent brother out here, and I'm eating. I don't need a record label or nothing like that. And I'm making my moves, and like I'm like one move away from being the biggest shit in hip hop. You know what I'm saying? And that's like 97 Hove right before he made that transition. That's what I really mean by that song.
Look, I was born in 84, but I'm like 97 Hove. I went platinum off a brick, I cooked on 97 stoves. Yeah, I know the streets is watching, so I'm highly skeptical. Where I'm at in my career, when hitting, I be set to go. Duct tape for the blocks, black tape for the strap. Bentley in the parking lot, ashtray full of pack. Had dreams of retiring and burying the money. Back when I was young, with more experience than money. Look, on my Georgetown shit, rock the blue Hoya. When they snatch my niggas up, I got a new lawyer. They start off young, so they shoot for you. I groom them soon, they become their own bosses and recruit for you.
I like that. And then the Pesci, what's the title? Pesci?
Joe Pesci, 38.
Okay. And Joe Pesci, 38, because I love your whole crew. Well, Gunn is with the fucking wrestling shit, which is just out there. And
hell yeah. He paid $13,000 for a front row seat at the fucking WrestleMania.
Yeah, I saw him. He's really about that fucking wrestling.
Hell yeah.
Man, he should have told me, man. I probably could have got him hooked up. I don't know if it would have been front row, but I guess he probably was happy to pay that $13,000.
Yeah, he want to be on TV.
He's on that wrestling shit.
Mm-hmm. Every time he go to that shit, he be on TV.
He's in fucking wrestling heaven.
He love that shit, but that's part of growing up. We like you say all the time, we used to watch that shit as kids all the time. Pizza. I remember we used to have a homemade pizza, be over there ordering food, maybe. And every fucking pay-per-view event, we watched that as kids. And when I was over there at the house with him, so I know what place he coming from with that shit.
It's like the karate with Wu-Tang and shit.
Right, exactly.
You know, you could just feel it's like it's genuine and like the references and My man Mean Gene on the tracks and shit like that. All right, so the Pesci 38, break that song down.
Joe Pesci 38. I basically named it that because I got the mafioso feel from that beat, the sample, Danger. Oh my fucking goodness, he killed that, and that's like one of my favorite songs on the album. And I was being real lyrical in the song, and basically just telling a story. You know what I'm saying? Like about how the transition. I wrote that a week from moving. When I signed my Griselda deal, I moved out the projects in Buffalo to the house in Atlanta.
Okay.
And signed my deal with Griselda the next day. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I got a whole lot of shit was going on around me before that. To get to where I'm at, I had to like close my eyes on and turn my head and my back on a whole lot of shit.
You did, huh?
I did. You know what
in
I'm saying?
terms of like street shit and just ties and connections and old, not to say friends, but at a certain point, like if you're really gonna move forward, right? You have to.
Right. And I heard Jeezy say that, like, yo, to do this, I had to do that. I heard Black Youngsters say it. I heard a lot of rappers say it, but I never believed it was true. I never believed they literally meant that. But me, I didn't. Like I said, I'll tell everybody, I've been doing this shit for years. I've been nice for years. Nothing really happened to this level for me until I wasn't selling dope no more. I'm saying until I wasn't doing that, till this really was my everyday focus. Now, music been my everyday focus for a minute, but it was other shit too.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? Until I put all of that down, I turned my back on it. And around the time where my whole team was eating. You know what I mean? And it was lit. I didn't have to do that. It wasn't about a money thing. It was a focus thing.
I got you.
So, you know what I mean? That's what I chose to do.
And also a karma thing.
Right.
You know, I've never been in that position, but it just seems like when you have anything, whether it's street shit, which is obviously dangerous and serious, or just bad people or a bad girlfriend or bad friends, and they pulling you sometimes you gotta fucking step forward.
Yeah, because you can't be living trying to be what somebody wants you to be. Your homeboys might want you to be a gangster or a hustler. Your girlfriend might want you to be a dude who come in, work a 9 to 5, live a subtle life, just be a good boyfriend to her. You know what I'm saying? Your kids just might want you to be a regular father. Your mom might just want you got to figure out what you want to do with yourself. You know what I'm saying? And once I figured out, okay, I gotta do what I need to do for myself, what I really want to do. And we had the deal on the table. Like, I've been grinding for this shit my whole life. And Wes looked me in my eye like, yo, Buzz, I'm about to sign a deal. Situation happened where I was supposed to be somewhere and I wasn't there. And he was like, yo, if it was about some money, I respect it. And I'm like, yeah, it was about some money, of course. Then he told me, when I told him that, he knew what it was. So he told me, it's like, yo, you don't want to get caught doing nothing. I'm about to sign a record deal. He never told me that. He probably was talking to Paul and them. He never told me that, though. When he seen what I was still doing, he kind of felt like he had to tell me, like, yo, this was what's going on. You better chill.
You said that in the song.
Right.
I like that.
And I fell back. Like, when he told me that, I had a flash in my head of, like, being in prison, watching them on the TV, and I'm like, that shit scared the fuck out of me. You know what I'm saying? And I fell back from that.
I got you, and I appreciate that. All right, so as of now, you, Benny the Butcher, does not have a record deal.
No.
That's crazy. So you put all this music out independently.
Right.
All right, 2 questions. All the shit that you must have learned about the music business, and obviously the music business has changed since you were 14, you know, and with the streaming and all that shit. But in the last few years, everything that you've learned about the record business, what's the biggest surprise, just in terms of the business of it? Like, what's the thing you were like, fuck, if I knew this 5 years ago, I could have been, you know, skated ahead, just in terms of the business, not you personally, but like this business works like this.
I would say a lot of guys in a local and an underground position, they work to get a record deal. You don't got to do that. You can start right then and there. Like, a lot of dudes was putting in work trying to get the label's attention. You don't do that. You get the streets' attention. You get the fans' attention. And then
by
the
doing what?
Networking, going to these shows, going to these events, linking with artists, working, putting quality music out, putting quality videos out, looking the part. This is a business, you know what I'm saying? And once you get in, like, if somebody decide to be a rapper tomorrow, nobody's going to look at you like, oh, you started tomorrow, so I'm gonna buy your tape for charity. You know, you automatically against Drake now. You know what I'm saying? If you jump in this pool, it's sharks in here. You automatically against the biggest names. And nobody cared that you a local MC. This is not a charity event. They want to see you shooting the dope videos. They want to see you working with the dope artists, getting the dope interviews. So whatever you got to do to make that happen, which is networking, you got to run down on these DJs. You got to have, when I say DJs, I'm meaning like for me, it's like the Static Selectors and Laura Sears and, you know what I'm saying, Gray Rizzy, you know what I'm saying? Those who I fuck with. So like dudes, if you're trying to get them dudes or anybody to play your music, you got to run down on those dudes and you got to like, yo, this me, this what I'm doing. So they might not play your music, but they look like, oh, this dude working. And they might spread the word, and that might be even better than playing your music. They might spread the word to somebody else that's going to spread your music or that's going to book you for a show. You know
There's no easy way into the shit.
No, there's no easy way, and there's no blueprint. There's no rule book. What work for you will not automatically work for me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It will work for me, will not automatically work for this person. So it's just about crossing all your T's and dotting all your I's and doing everything, covering everything, so you can't say you left a stone unturned. That's what I do. I'm a hustler. I'm doing interviews. You got a show over here. I'm going to the show. I'm working with different artists. I'm up for anything. You know what I'm saying? I'm grinding right now.
And you're ready to spit.
All the time, you know what I'm saying? All the time.
I like that. All right, you don't have a record deal. What will make that happen? When will that happen? And what do you foresee it happening? Like, how do you foresee it happening?
Soon.
Soon.
You know what I'm saying? Soon.
All right, well, listen. I fuck with you guys. And after meeting you guys and watching you rock and your whole shit, I wish you guys absolutely nothing but the best.
Right.
Nothing but success.
Thank you.
Wait, my final question, I have to ask you this because you seem to be so into movies and Sopranos and all that shit. If I say Benny the Butcher's top 5 films of all time, your top 5 favorite films, I have to imagine King of New York, Gangs of New York is in there.
No. To be honest with you,
Give me your top 5 films.
my
It could be anything. It could be like School Days, fucking.
top 5 is Casino.
Okay.
Goodfellas.
Got you.
The Temptations.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Shit's like Boys in the Hood.
Okay.
Menace to Society. That's 5, but I go a Butterfly Effect.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Shit's like that was my shit. That was my shit.
You like The Notebook, like all these like romantic comedies and shit. Jennifer Aniston.
Man,
because you fuck with you guys all have the gangster references, and I love all that shit. And I said this to you. I think I said it to you, but I definitely told it to your man Tony De Niro. I'm down for whatever. Like I want to be on one of your joints.
Oh no, we about to do something. I'm
down for whatever. we could do the casino walk. Like, oh, these fucking cocksuckers.
Yo, that's gonna be crazy.
I'm down for whatever because I.
Hey, y'all hear this, right? We about to do something crazy.
It's done. I come up to Buffalo, get some fucking pizza and all that.
Yeah,
shit.
Lenova's, man. Shout out Lenova's, the best fucking pizza and wings in Buffalo.
Absolutely. So, yo, sincerely, I wish you guys nothing but the luck.
Man, thank you. I appreciate that.
All right,
man.
cool. Benny the Butcher. The Butcher's here. All right, yo, I told you it was going to be a good one. Follow Benny the Butcher. Follow Who Is Conway, Conway the Machine, West Side Gun. Look up Griselda Records. These guys are coming for the hip-hop grimy crown. They deserve it. They're busting their asses. They love this shit. They put on a good show. They do the damn thing. Benny the Butcher, thank you for rocking with me on the I Am Rapaport Stereo podcast. I can't wait to be in one of your videos. He's all about that gangster shit, gangster spoofs, that black soprano family life. Listen, what more can I say? It's a big body I Am Rapaport Stereo podcast. Miles, Jordan, please do me a favor. Take me out here with something real nice. Yes. Something real proper. But most importantly, yes, you know what the fuck I need. I need something real funky. I'm done.